Hello everyone, this is Kostap here from Inside Stat, and in this new video we will be talking about the text functions. So we will talk about the different DAX functions that we can use in order to handle string or text. Right, so what do we have? We have concatenate, we have upper or lower, we have left, right, mid, we have substitute and search. Of course, there are a lot of other text functions, but these are the most commonly used text functions that we are going to discuss in this video. Okay, let's look at them one by one. So what is concatenate? Concatenate joins two text strings into one text string. And please remember, when we say two, it is just two. So concatenate can only bring together two strings. So if you try and join two or more strings using concatenate, it will not work. Even though this is a downside for concatenate, but you will still see concatenate being used in many real world cases. Now, if you want to concatenate two or more strings together, always use the ampersand. So the ampersand can be used for multi-string concatenation. Okay. Next is upper or lower. Very simple, as the name suggests. Upper or lower converts a string to uppercase or lowercase, depending on what use you are looking at. And the syntax is just put upper and the text or lower of the text. Then comes left, right, or mid. Now let's say if you want to extract maybe the first few characters of a string or the last few characters of a string or somewhere in between of the string, we would use left, right, or mid. So it returns a specified number of characters from the start or the middle or the end of a text string. Okay, so if you want maybe the first 3 or 4 characters from left to right, we will use left. If you want the rightmost characters, we will use right. And if you want something from the middle of the string, we would use middle. So in mid, we have the text. Now, since we are extracting something from the middle of the string, we would also have the start position, and we would also have to tell how many number of characters are we looking to extract from that particular string, right? Next, we have substitute. So substitute, as the name suggests, it replaces existing text with new text in a text string. So again, this is all applied on strings. Optional parameter, that is the instance num you see here, specifies which occurrence to replace. So we can also tell which occurrences to replace. For example, if there are we are trying to replace a hyphen with an underscore, which we will see in the example. If there are 2 hyphens in the original text, which hyphen would you want to replace, the first or the second? So that can be given by instance num. And lastly, we have search. What does search do? Returns the position of a text string within another text string, and it is case insensitive. Okay, so what does it do? Search would return a number. It would return the position of a text string within another text string, right? So we will try and look at a very good example for search that would put things into perspective. Okay, now let's look at how do we implement all these. Let's go back to Power BI. All right, so we are in the table view of the customer dimension table, and if you look at here, we have the full name which we came up with during our very initial part of the videos. So we will use concatenate to show you another implementation of how to come up with a full name. So we go to new column here, click on new column, and this time we call this full name, let's say DAX. And this time if I want to bring in, so I'll do concatenate, if you look at here, concatenate will only allow two strings. So it'll only allow first name, comma, the last name, and enter. And look at this. What do we get here? It does exactly that. It would only concatenate two strings. There is no space in between. So this would not make a lot of sense when we do this. But just to show you an example of what concatenate does, concatenate only brings together two strings. Now, if I want to come up with the prefix, the first name and the last name. So how do we do it? So I'll say prefix. We have the customer prefix. I'll use ampersand, first name, ampersand, last name. Now when I click on enter, this also does the same thing. But here, since we are using ampersand, I have the power to introduce spaces in between. How do I do that? So after the prefix, I would say, after the prefix, I would need space, put another ampersand. After the first name, I would need another space. And do we need any more spaces? No, I don't think so. So let's try. Look at this. So now I have the prefix, the first name, and the last name with the correct spaces. Right? Now it depends on you which one you want to keep it. Maybe you would want to keep this full name and drop the other full name. It's absolutely fine. Right? So this is how we use concatenate, or you can use the ampersand to concatenate multiple strings. Now, let's say the business comes and tells us that they would want to know, okay, let's go to the product lookup table first. Okay, now they have a specific requirement here. Now they are saying that we would want to know how many products we have that has the word mountain in them. I want to find out how many products have mountain in them. Now, how do we do it? In order to do this, we will use the search keyword. Now, how do we use the search keyword? Again, new column. Let's call this, is it a mountain product? Let's call this, is it a mountain product? Right? And then we will say search. I would want to find out, so it says find text. So I would want to find out mountain. And where do we want to find out the mountain? I would want to find out the mountain in maybe the product name. So I say product name. Where do we have the product name? Yes, we have it here. And these are optional, start position and not found value. So the start position is by default 1, and the not found value can be a 0, or you can leave it as blank. So I'd say if it is not found, let it be 0. Okay. Now, when I click on enter, you will see wherever mountain is not there, it'll show it as 0. Or wherever mountain is there, it shows 4. Now, what is this 4? This 4 is where mountain starts. Look at this. So we have mountain here. So it's 1, 2, 3. The fourth character is a mountain. So mountain M starts from the fourth character. Hence, it is showing as 4 here. Right? And in most of the cases, you will see it's 4. Do we have any other value? So we have different values here as well, which means the word mountain comes in different products. Now let's give some more perspective to this. Let's say, now look at what is the name of the variable. It's called, is it a mountain product? Let me put a question mark. We have still not answered the question. Now, if it is a mountain product, I would say yes. Otherwise, it's a no. So what do? I can put this inside another function. So let me take this, tab it, and I can put this another function. So I can say if, we know how if functions. So if logical test. So now this time I'd say this is still not a logical test. This returns a number. And I would say if this number is greater than 0, which means that there is this word mountain present. If it is greater than 0, which means I have some value from this search function, I would say yes, it is a mountain product, or else result if false is no, it is not a mountain product. And when I click on enter, look at this. Wherever there was a 4 present, it is being shown as yes. For all the other products, it's no. And now if I want to find out how many mountain related products are there, these are all the mountain products. Look at this. Right, so this is how we would use search. There will be other use cases of search as well. We will talk about it as we move forward. Now let's talk about substitute. How does substitute work? Let's say our business is going through some major operational and logistical overhaul, and they would want to change the product SKUs. And the change that they have come up with is they want to change all the hyphens. You see here, all the hyphens should be changed to underscores. So how do we do it? So we'll call this new SKU as a new product SKU. Let's come up with that column. We'll call it new product SKU. And what do we have to do? We'll call in substitute. Substitute takes the text, so we know what do we want. So we want the product SKU. And then we take the old text, which means I want to look at all the hyphens, and new text will be what should we replace it with? We want to replace it with an underscore, and instance number is optional, so we'll not pass instance number. Click on enter, and there you go. All the hyphens, look at here, all the hyphens here has been replaced with underscore. The next which I wanted to show was how do we use left or right. Okay, so for that, let's go to the calendar lookup table. Now in the calendar lookup table, if you see the day name, I have all the different day names here, right? What if the business comes and tells us, you know what, we just need the first three, we need a shortened version of the day. We need the first 3 characters. We don't need the entire day to be, the name of the day to be displayed. The standard is take the first 3 characters. So how do we do it? Again, we'll go to new column, and we'll call it, let's say, short day. Short day. And I'll say, since I need the first 3 characters from the left, I'll use left, and I have to specify which text. So I want the day name, and how many characters. So I need 3 characters, the first 3 characters. That's it. Close the parenthesis, click on enter, and there you go. So I have all the day names shortened, right? So do try the other functions. For example, there is right, there is mid, there is something also called as proper. These are all, the extension of whatever we have discussed here today. So this is all I have for today. In the next video, we will talk about a few more new functions. If you have liked this video, please do like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please put it in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.